Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset episode 136. This podcast is about anything and everything related to the Destiny franchise. If you love playing Destiny 2 as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, we welcome longtime friend of the show, Hiddnen, as we talk about the new and improved Nightfall scoring, give feedback on this week's update, and the war over pineapples continues. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. It's AER0KNIGHT and, of course, CyborgSasquatch. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm well.
Excellent.
As well as can be expected. A little worn out. Long weekend.
Yeah.
It's one of those where the honey-do list is longer than you would like.
Yeah. Well, and we had some nice weather this weekend. It rained for like 5 days straight, so we actually had a nice weekend. Not much rain, so the temperature even was pretty cozy. So the outside stuff even already started. You know how that kicks in when spring hits, at least. So yeah, it was
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got a special guest with us this week.
Hype.
Longtime friend of the show and the community. Welcome, Hiddnen. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good.
Who's this guy?
Or it's just hidden, right?
Here we go. Finally. Finally. Is it hidden or Hiddnen?
You can just say whatever you want, really. I'll answer to both. I mean, the easiest is I've started to go by Hid.
There you go. Just, never thought about that.
Cut out the whole thing there, but
it was probably 50 episodes ago. I think we were talking about how to say your name, and we said we were going to say it one way, and then we started saying it the other way. Just so everyone's clear, he spells it Hiddnen. So maybe we'll just go with Hid from now on. What's up, Hid?
That works. I'll take it.
The H-Man.
There you go.
I did a logo once for it was just H and N, but then it was just weird. So I didn't do that.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Well, thanks for coming on. You have been listening and been a part of the community since, I don't know, episode 1?
Supporting us.
Pre-episode 1, I think.
Yep. And you've always done a great job of being a part of the community and just helping promote us and do everything you can. Long time coming for you to come on the show and talk with us. And we're glad to have you. So tell everybody who, if they don't know you, which would be shocking, but tell them a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Bobby. I play video games online and with friends. I've played games practically my whole life, since apparently I had an Atari. I don't remember it, but I do remember the NES. Nice. What was the computer? Commodore 64? Was that it?
Okay.
Dad said we had one. I have no idea. But
take his word for it.
Right, yeah. I just remember playing Doom on PC. That's
nice.
When my PC time started. But yeah, I've I don't.
Tell us what else you do besides playing games, because there's more to you than that.
Right. So I am a dad and a gamer dad. I play games with both my kids. I've got my own and also a stepson, and got them into gaming super early, and enjoy watching them learn and progress through their journey of being a nerd.
Hey, that's fun.
I dabble in the charity stuff, both Extra Life and St. Jude's and some other different organizations that are out there. Stack Up and some other ones.
Stream regularly.
Yes, I do.
What got you into
stream.
that? And then you were just talking about some of the events and organizations that you support from time to time.
I didn't know Twitch was a thing until I got an Xbox One, and then it was an app, and I just downloaded it and kind of dabbled in it. And I remember the first event was done by the Legend Blue. This was back right around when we started talking on Twitter and stuff, to where he was doing some military charity, and Professor Broman was streaming for it. And blew my mind that a bunch of people were watching other people play video games on the internet and then throwing money at them for a cause. And I was like, yeah, I can do this. I want to do this. And da-da-da.
Nice.
That's what really started me on Twitch, and I've started dabbling in Mixer, just checking both out, kind of testing the waters on both,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen your setup. It's quite the setup. And you also, mentioning your kids, you even stream your like your Destiny Mega Blocks assembly and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. It's one of those things to where if, I'm going to play games regardless, right? So if I can broadcast it, and whether it's one person or 10 or 100, whoever, and just hang out and make a chill place to just communicate with others. And you can do that with anything, really, to where I do it with the Mega Blocks, like you were saying, and I've done some other like crafting related stuff and some other things, but so all the above.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah, one thing that you and I have in common that we always chat about is you're a collector of sorts.
Yeah, of
t-shirts. I'm always talking on the t-shirts is one. I'm always talking on the show about Destiny merch. You probably will win the t-shirt battle, but
I don't know.
I don't know. I have a lot now. I was actually digging through my drawer today, and I was like, just trying to like rotate some t-shirts out,
right? Yeah,
and trying to see, well, which ones haven't I worn in a while, and I like pulled out, I think 5 Destiny shirts that I forgot I even had. And I was like,
There's
oh,
ones
this one's
that
cool.
You don't wear.
Oh wait, this one.
Because I have those. I have ones that I don't wear, like that.
Yeah, I've retired a few, and there's a few that don't fit me as well.
Yeah. I mean, are there ones that you never have worn that like you just don't want to get? No. Like one of mine is the community, the Destiny 2 community shirt.
Okay, yeah.
Still just
I wear that one
sitting there, not being worn.
But it's not because you don't want to wear it. It's because you're like,
I don't want to sweat in it.
Exactly.
And wash
yeah,
it.
you don't want to wash it. I can understand that. But I will say
one
that
day
I'll
wear it. I'll save it for an event.
Right. Yeah. I probably don't wear a lot of my obvious Destiny shirts as much as I used to, for reasons. But those subtle, like you have to be a hardcore Destiny player to realize that's a Destiny shirt kind of thing. I'll still wear those.
Yeah, those are the ones I'll wear out in public.
Yeah.
The ones that just have the iconography and stuff.
Your Vault of Glass shirt.
Sure, yeah. Man, I'm super sad about my Vault of Glass shirt because it was my favorite for a while, and I don't think I washed it a ton, but it already has a hole in the front, like a little tiny hole.
Yeah.
I guess it's possible, like maybe a moth
snag
or whatever got to it, but and I can't replace it.
That stinks.
Like I wanna email We Love Fine and be like, hey, do you guys think you could do another run of all those, like
something?
Because I didn't get the other ones. I know they had the Wrath of the Machine one. I don't know if they did a shirt for the other 2 posters. Anyways,
I haven't actually bought a lot of shirts directly from Bungie. I usually get like the custom shirts through people through the community.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that came out in the past year are really nice. Like they upped their quality. Like a couple of them are my favorite ones to wear now. Like there's like this gray one that's a Destiny 2 one, and I have to show it to you. There's a few other ones, but they're like super soft. They fit really well. Like they don't shrink. Like they did a pretty good job with their merch this year. But you also collect all the other stuff that I enjoy too, like the Mega Blocks and all the different figures and all the different stuffs.
Yeah,
you got a pretty good collection going.
Yeah, it's yeah.
After a while, it starts to become a problem and not a hobby.
I'm guessing you've ran out of shelf space.
No, you could just buy more shelves. That's
right.
That's not.
Yeah,
that's
I
not
just
a problem.
bought one.
It's getting it to all fit behind me on my cam, so you can see it all the time.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But it's like you're probably hearing me like fade out because I'm back here looking behind me at all of it and like, dang, I spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
Pretty sizable investment into toys.
I just went and bought a new 8-cube shelf
nice.
For our game room, and I could easily fill it almost fully with random Destiny stuff over the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Easily. Anyways,
so,
speaking of
I guess, tell us your story about how you ended up playing Destiny.
So I didn't actually get to play the alpha or the beta. I didn't have an Xbox One or a PS4, and I was still rocking a 360. And I remember reading about it, and then it kind of just fell off.
That spider tank for 35 minutes.
Oh, I did. I did when it released.
Yeah,
but not beta. I remember reading about it, and then it kind of like fell off out of my radar. And then I remember people at work talking about it. I was like, I might do it. I don't know. And then it came out. I went to Walmart for some reason. I happened to be at Walmart the day of launch, and Redbox had it. I'm like,
nice.
All right, let's rent it. And I rented it and racked up a tab of like $20. So I was like, I should probably buy this. And so I bought it. And then I dumped like 2,000 hours into a game for 3 years. So,
story goes.
But yeah, it's what's really neat is to where one of my mods on my channel is somebody that I hooked up with literally week 1. Of original release, and one of the other people that there's like 3 of us, and we all connected through random people via raid, one of the first raids, or out on a patrol, I guess. And then he pulled me into a raid, and then we met the other guy, and we literally have been playing Destiny since then together. So it's pretty crazy.
Very cool.
Yeah, it is cool. I think the biggest take back from Destiny 1 days is all the friendships that people have been able to get and maintain.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you get. That's what you got to keep between Destiny 1
right?
and 2.
Yeah.
You lost all your vault and everything. You got to keep your friends. That's what matters.
I mean, that's probably one of my biggest moments with D2 is whenever you first loaded it in and it scrolled through and you saw the people, and it was crazy because the same people that were in a lot of those were the same people I was playing D2 with.
Right. And, you got to see who you completed stuff with.
Yeah, it was really neat.
Yeah, what was really cool about that, which I'm sure we talked about, Cyborg, was because we started this thing a year or so after the release, and it was cool because by this thing I mean the podcast, and it was like you could clearly see where you started playing with the Derp fam.
Mm-hmm.
It was so cool. It was like I was LFG. Oh, there's such and such. Okay, all right. Now I'm playing with the Derp fam. This is cool. Very cool.
Well, what is your preferred class in Destiny 2?
Warlock Master class, obviously.
Oh,
man.
And I still end up maining a Warlock when I do play on both on Xbox and PC. I bought it for PlayStation at launch, never opened it, and it may have ended up getting returned a couple weeks ago at Walmart, but we won't speak of that.
Well, It's pretty challenging to try to do a game like this on 3 consoles.
Yeah.
Or 3 platforms. Two was enough in Destiny 1. 3 is a little excessive unless you are like streaming full time or something where you can, you're expected to play that much and you want to. I've got a PlayStation copy with the season pass from the collector's edition. I've got to figure out what to do with for PlayStation. I need to give it to somebody. I don't want to give away the disc because it's part of the collector's edition, but I'll give away the season pass.
The pass, yeah, because it's just a redeem code.
Yep. If you're the Dirt Fam and you're on PlayStation and you need a season pass, send me a message. I'll give it to you.
Giveaway.
Now it's gone.
Giveaway. I mean, I've just been sitting on it.
That's when you plug a Gleamo or a Gleam link.
Oh. Absolutely. Well, here's the biggest question that's a real...
I thought we were going to skip this one with him.
Home run.
I don't know.
Tell us about pineapples.
Yeah. So hashtag pineapples belong on pizza.
We have an
Guy with
enemy
the pineapple hats.
in the gates.
Oh, guys, this is perfect. Like, you can't see it because we're not doing a video chat, but I totally just scored a pineapple backpack today.
Wow.
I was like, I'm going to I got a convention this week, and I got a convention in July. You know what? I need a new backpack. My other backpack's all ripped, and I was like, oh, that's got pineapples on it. Bought.
That's awesome. There's a lot of pineapple merch out there.
There is, yeah.
And the funny thing is, anytime I see it, I think about you.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm glad you think about me, Cyborg.
You're doing a great job at branding.
Oh, great, yeah.
I mean, pineapple is fantastic.
Right?
Oh, I love pineapples.
Yeah. Just not on pizza. I understand. Each their own, right? To where I'm one of those people. Don't diss it until you tried it, and we all know that both of you tried it, and you don't like it. So,
hey,
right.
I will say now. Don't forget, I did not say after trying it that it was horrible. So I did go like a couple steps in the the middle ground section.
Careful, you're backsliding.
But not the full on supporting. Now, Cyborg, on the other hand, he still stands
it was so
100%
gross.
strong.
A couple days ago, my son just totally out of nowhere asked me, Dad, what's up with pineapple pizza? And I was like, who told you about that?
You go to your room.
And I think he might have seen it on a video or something on YouTube. And then my wife chimes in. She's like, "Oh, you can get it on pizza. It's so good." And I was going, "What?" Apparently, my wife likes pineapple pizza.
I was just gonna say I didn't know that because I've mentioned my wife loves it.
I had no idea. We've never ordered it. She's never brought it up before. I have some real questions.
Yep.
Oh, man. It's a
No,
real
see, I will
problem
say
in our marriage now.
I don't just order. I don't do like the whole like Canadian bacon and pineapple. Like I get a whole like meat lovers with pineapple.
Oh,
and
see,
then
my wife does like
jalapenos
the
and-
Hawaiian. She likes the Canadian bacon pineapple pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, we like meat lovers stuff at our house, and we'll do that. But I don't know, man. It's not even the taste as much as the texture is just kind of weird on a pizza.
Yeah, and you have to get past the whole idea of it. I mean, that's
the principle. Is what really holds you back. Well, now that we know your stance on all these things, we can wrap up the show and
have a
been
good
great.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Any announcements this week?
I don't think so, man. Quiet week on the announcement front. Of course, we will be having some sort of blue item giveaway soon. So stay tuned
we will.
For that.
They've got when you're hearing this on the 6th, they've got a product releasing that you might want to check out. We're gonna have our hands on it fairly soon, and we'll send out some tweets about it and show you what they got. Something cool.
Yep. They just keep expanding their product line.
Now, so on the subject of blue, real quick, because I don't recall if you guys did or not. Did you guys upgrade to Sparks?
We have some Sparks, but we haven't changed yet because we're working on how it impacts our setups and our sound quality.
Yeah.
And our
They sent us some,
process.
so we're tinkering with them.
Yeah.
It's on my...
After 136 episodes, we're used to
our Yetis that it's like
I understand
it's
that
a big
completely.
change. It's a big commitment.
And that's me asking, because I've ran an XLR since I went to a PC stream, but I've not upgraded to that, and it's always been on my to get list.
That's part of it, is changing to an XLR, and I really want to get a good mixer.
Yeah.
So I can have a little bit more control over the sound. They sent us some. It's called an icicle, and it's a little cool little tool. You plug the XLR in, and then it goes to USB. So real handy to try to make that easy. But I want a little more control over the sound, so I'm saving up for a mixer to do that.
We are excited to use them, though.
I bet.
They're really nice looking. They're black.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a purple version that
they have a purple one.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, be on the lookout for some blue giveaways this month. We'll be doing some cool stuff, and as always, we appreciate Blue being our sponsor. Blue Microphones, BlueMic.com.
Yes, don't forget Destiny Reset at the Blue Store.
20% off.
Yes.
That's your code. How about some news? We got some great news this week, boys. Some cool stuff. First off, New Monarchy with the Triple Crown.
Oh, man.
Whoop,
You remember when Dead Orbit won the first week and everybody was like going to be aggravated when they won 2 times in a row or something just because?
It's really funny. Somebody brought up like a really good point that if New Monarchy and or Future War Cult are winning the faction rally, that means that they're just the core players are sticking around and all the rest of the people are gone. Like,
that's funny.
The filthy casuals are way gone if New Monarchy's winning 3 times in a row.
That's funny, dude. I thought about it. It's so funny because those shaders do look great. Some of that Titan stuff looks great on New Monarchy.
So good.
Yeah, and I love I do like the weapons for the Future War Cult, the way they look, even though people were making fun of them a little bit. But I just like to pledge the same faction every time. At some point, maybe I'll.
It's okay. I do the same thing.
Branch out, yeah. But and then when you really, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go back into the lore and just kind of look at this again. They all 3 are interesting. So it's like
they each present a unique perspective, but also they each have like a drawback to their philosophy. Yeah. Like it's none of them are a perfect solution.
Yep. Yep.
Otherwise, one of them would be like an obvious choice.
Everyone, yep.
It's like, on the surface, like New Monarchy sounds like a great idea, but it's also they're presenting a monarchy. Like,
right. But
somebody's
also
supposed to be a king.
And then Dead Orbit's like, I love all of their ideas except for the fact that like one of their main, of course, is to like say we're out of here.
Yeah, like, they're like,
hold on a second,
Earth is done. Like we're gone later.
And so it's like when you think about it, it's like, okay, at least they're not, at least they're. There's just so many ways to look at it.
They're just realistic. Like they want to throw in the cards and move on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But like, they have this awesome fleet, this flotilla of ships that come in handy.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what they think about the Traveler being back now. Does that change their?
Wouldn't it be nice if we got some quests or dialogue that
updated faction story
comic? I think everybody is going New Monarchy because it's just the closest one to your clan Indrams.
It's just convenient.
That's funny.
That's a good point.
Purposefully made it on the other end.
3 in a row for New Monarchy.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Iron Banner returns next reset, Tuesday, March 6th, with some new weapons and, I believe, 6v6.
I don't think it is yet.
No, it is.
It?
It's 6v6.
Are you sure?
I saw that.
I think they confirmed it on Twitter.
Okay, good.
I'm about to double check.
Do it, yeah, because I even watched one of my favorite YouTubers, and I was wondering it as I read it, and then maybe they didn't see the update yet either. And I was getting word that it was 4v4 still, but if it's 6v6, that's exciting.
I'm gonna double check while we're talking.
Yeah.
It is sweet. I thought we were gonna have to wait for the March update for that. That's a big
Clash.
deal. That's a big deal.
It is Clash, your favorite.
6v6. 12 minutes.
They almost should have brought back Control for the first 6v6. I know.
No, it is Control.
It's Clash.
Oh.
Does it say in the 12 it's Clash?
No, it says all control zones start off at neutral. Control zones take slightly longer to capture by default. And then additional guardians, max of 3 in a zone, increase capture speed.
See, I thought when they were talking about that later in the TWAB, are you reading the TWAB right now?
Yeah.
Hiddnen?
Yeah.
See, that says update 1.1.4.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
so that's why I thought
what
Iron
a
Banner
tease.
wasn't gonna be.
Somebody
6v6
asked somebody on Twitter, and I forgot what the answer was.
So you think it was 6v6 was confirmed on Twitter? Okay. Well, while you look that up, can I just say that I know like it's still reskins, but I'm kind of excited about the weapons. A couple of them look pretty good.
They look dope.
Grenade launcher, but they look good, and I think the perks actually on the pulse and the auto don't look too shabby. So I don't know, they look pretty.
The most important thing is how they look.
Exactly. Yes.
Totally.
And how they perform.
If you can't look good doing it, then
It's not worth it.
Yep. So, anyways, did you find this confirmation yet? I don't hear you on the mechanical
I'm still
keyboard.
looking. We'll keep talking. I'm using the laptop that has the silent keyboard, so I'm not obnoxious with the tippy tappy, because it would sound like this.
Yep.
And people don't.
Can you turn that down? Turn down your keyboard, please.
I even click my mouse so it doesn't make the scrolly sound.
I'm thinking about getting some of those the little
dampeners. Yeah, I've got some. I just haven't put them in yet.
I thought about it, but then I was like, I kind of like how loud my keyboard is.
I do like it, yeah. I've heard, though, the ones that I bought, if you'll like look in the description, there's some that will, obviously purposefully still give you that feedback that's so great about a mechanical keyboard. It just obviously won't make the sound, so I know that's part of it, but it'll still feel the same. So
I just like the loud tippy tappy, man.
Well, just before every episode, pop off every key and take them back out.
Yeah,
or put them in and then take them out after the episode.
No. See, you're doing it the hard way. The easy way is I buy a second keyboard.
Oh, that makes sense.
And one of them has dampeners.
Yeah.
And one of them is loud, and every time I record, I have to swap them out.
Yeah, there you go.
That's.
Or we just start typing like crazy without dampeners and
all right,
get us a couple more.
Let me go drop $200 on that again. Yeah.
Save the reviews.
Let's see. I was looking at one of the guys. I'm gonna check on Derek Carroll's Twitter and see if he was
we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. I now have on every my laptop and my home PC and my work PC, I have like favorited the tweets and replies of several Bungie employees because they've been responding to so much on Twitter. It's like too many different avenues to keep up with things these days.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
I just got a couple of them flagged where I get all of their tweets.
Yeah, I think I'm up to like 9 or 10 now. Just seeing if they shoot out any little news nuggets.
I don't know. I see one thing. It says.
I really
Derek Carroll says Iron Banner is the only 6v6 playlist for the immediate future. That doesn't answer directly.
Everybody's listening right now.
Let's move on in the news while I look. Arrow, talk to us about update 1.1.4 that's coming up.
Yeah, they well, like Hiddnen mentioned already, they talk about what we will see. The PvP team has been on fire these past few weeks. filling update 1.1.4 with as much awesomeness as they can.
Okay, I got an answer.
Oh,
this was what I was looking at. Bad Bungie tweets. If you don't follow that one, he tweeted at Mantis, I'm stupid and can't read good, but is Iron Banner next week 6v6? And he said no, 6v6 will be introduced with update 1.1.4.
there we go. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
The final 4v4 Iron Banner.
Yeah, kind of stinks, but that's
Clash.
okay. So then it does confirm though that the first 6v6 they're gonna bring back old school control.
Next
6v6
next month.
Yes. So speaking of that, they say in the TWAB this week that they've made a number of tweaks to the gameplay besides increasing the team size to 6v6. Match limit will be 12 minutes. Score limit 125. Respawn time is 7 seconds. All control zones start off neutral, like it said. Control zones take slightly longer to capture by default. Additional guardians, max of 3, in a zone increases capture speed, and guardians participating in a capture get more super energy. Old school, old school.
I'm kind of surprised that they made that change, because I honestly preferred how just it only required one person.
Yeah.
But everybody's still set in the circle regardless, so
I guess they think
Sometimes.
maybe doing that will, I mean, if you only needed one and it's 6v6, that means 5 people. I mean, I guess it increases chaos. People want faster gameplay, faster games, more chaos. So if still only took one to capture, that leaves everyone else able to duel on the map. But now you're going to have 3 people sitting on a point. So that could slow it down still a little bit.
Did D1 have a max of 3 as well? For
so.
the increase in speed?
I
never
think
realized
at a
it.
certain number of players,
Okay.
I think the same way, like it only, the increase kind of capped out, and I think it was probably 3.
But you could still, like they don't mention it here, but you can still dance and teabag, and it goes faster too, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But you're giving away all the secrets.
Or respect
Or
nil.
bow.
Sorry, respect nil.
Yeah. Respect Neil is the quickest I've heard.
That's
It
all
is.
out. He knows. He did
Was
the
my
science.
favorite thing in the TWAB this week. This next short little paragraph.
There's
couple
rumblings
sentences.
that
Rumble will make its triumphant return with no excuses, no complications, and absolutely no points for assists. You get a single point when you get a kill, just like in the golden age of video games. Oh, and this time we increased the player count to 8. Exciting.
Now,
I love that it's just a kill, get you a point. That's it.
somebody else tweeted too that it's not a permanent thing. It's going to be on a rotation or something.
It
yeah,
is.
it's going to be on a weekly rotation.
Yep, it's going to be Mayhem, Rumble, and at some point, I feel like there's a third. What's the third that they have right now? At some point, Doubles will also be in the rotation.
Yeah.
But they go on to say here.
So
in the
they're
TWAB.
working on that still.
Which I don't get, because I'm sitting there reading that. I don't get it because
I don't think it's going to be standard doubles. I think it's going to be similar to what we played at Crimson Days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But
I think it's
the
a
thing
modified
is
version.
everyone loved Crimson Doubles. I mean, it was like, it's one of those things where it was kind of, at least it seemed that way. Everyone was hyped. Everyone had a blast. They said Crimson Doubles was fun. And then instead of just like throw it in the rotation with this update, like I get, clearly they think they have a couple more things they want to tweak. But if it was in Crimson Doubles, it got great feedback. Why not just throw it in the rotation in its current state?
Yeah,
People liked it.
That's a good point.
It's not like it wasn't
it's
received well.
that thing, like if it's not perfect, it gives people one more thing to complain about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd complain about it. Let's be honest.
It's just one of those
it.
things, It's
It
like
was fun, but there was some core stuff I wasn't happy about, and I would complain about it. So I'm happy.
True.
I'm happy
It's
that
just
they're
like-
going to work on it.
It's like one of those little things. It's lose for them. We've talked about that because that you're probably right. That would happen, but it did seem to overall get positive feedback and get people kind of hyped up. So it
But
seems
hey, in
like
the
you'd wanna put
meantime,
that
you'll
in
get
there.
to see Mayhem and Rumble more often.
Yes, very true. Now Rumble's going to be interesting, and we have no idea what Rumble's going to be like. People were talking about what Rumble would feel like in this current state of Destiny 2 PvP. It would be interesting with this team shot heavy mechanic, but we're going to get some sweeping changes with the sandbox as well. So we have absolutely no idea what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. It's
They
going to be
do
a whole new world.
mention there's going to be other changes in that update, and we'll talk about it more.
Yeah.
And it's not far. We're, maybe 3 weeks out at this one, 2, 3, yeah, probably 3 weeks out at this point. So right around the corner, and I'm hoping this is what they promised the Go Fast update, right? Sandbox stuff.
Yes, Go Fast update. Yep.
So
it's getting close.
I almost put out a tweet earlier today, and I realized it could be construed as me being facetious, but my daughter she's not walking, but she's at that stage where you can hold their hands and they can take steps.
Mm-hmm.
And she went from like kind of almost being able to do that and going really slow, and now she's like sprinting. So I took a video, and I was gonna tweet it and be like, over here doing a preview of the Go Fast update. But then I was like, people might think I'm talking trash because it's a baby walking slowly. I was like, I'm not gonna
it's like,
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Well, actually, you probably would have got a bunch of likes and retweets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna post it.
Gotta do that Insta story.
Go ahead and throw that Gleam link on there too. No.
I will. It's gonna be a contest too.
Man, good times.
Nightfall scoring went live.
Mm-hmm.
We tested that a little bit earlier today. And so they've got some clarification on how some of this works. One is how do players acquire Nightfall emblem variants. They have a chance to drop from Nightfall completion. It's not related to challenges, and it's not a guaranteed drop. For each variant, the chance increases from 0 to as high as 50% at specific score thresholds per variant. These thresholds are 20k, 40k, 60k, 80k. And it says, why aren't these tiers visible in game, and will they ever change? They say we're planning to adjust those as they come to better understand what the community considers an impressive high score, and we don't have a great way to display dynamic settings like that. So they go on talking about prestige and aura and etc. So basically, these things are not static, and they're going to change, and the thresholds could change. They're going to have to come up with something that's going to at least tell us every week, though. You know?
What it is. Yeah. That makes sense.
I don't know. They need to figure it out.
Yeah.
And then they mentioned, why were base Nightfall modifiers removed? And they answer, because we want to emphasize core combat in this initial release and let the community define the meta for a high-scoring Nightfall run. And they mentioned where they could revisit modifiers in the future, open to player feedback. What did you think, Hiddnen, about running the Nightfall without the modifiers?
Yeah, I missed them.
Yeah, we were about halfway through the strike, and I brought it up. I was like, it kind of feels like a hard heroic strike, to be honest. It was a little bit harder than a standard heroic strike, but without the modifiers, I feel like it. Here's the thing: it's like you have no modifiers, and then the scoring system isn't like the old strike scoring, where you have a objective like precision shots or grenade kills or whatever. So you're just kind of playing like you normally would, and it doesn't make the Nightfall that much more interesting. You know, it just presents a constraint. Like, okay, we got to finish it in this time to keep our score up. We got to kill all the guys. We didn't get to play yet. We didn't get challenge cards or anything yet to try that out. I know I looked at some feedback from people that did, and they did seem to enjoy that, and so we may be able to get what we want out of that, you know, in the prestige run.
Like the way that I interpret it is that they want and I missed it. They said they may bring them back depending on player feedback, but they want the Nightfall just to be kind of this base thing that you just run. And then after that is when you start doing the thing. which I get it. Like,
and you choose your own modifiers.
Right.
Yeah. I think, too, to where they're really testing the waters with it, too, to where in a controlled environment, you only want to have one variable adjusting, to where if they're trying to figure out what to rate the tiers on for scoring, and then if there's a modifier in there as well that's boosting the scoring, you're not going to get a real number either.
That makes sense. Yeah. I totally see that. So
you have to run it each week to get the card, right? Like, every week you have to run it once to get the card.
Well, we didn't even get it from running it that one time, I don't think. I don't know. I got to check that emblem that we got, but
yeah, I have no idea.
I think you got to get the card to drop.
Oh.
And to do that...
I thought that was just automatic. Wow.
No. To do that, I think... let's see.
Looking at the old patch notes. Do you have to hit the base level?
For DLC owners in the normal or prestige Nightfall. That's all it says. And
it says in the top too, it's not related to challenges, and it's not a guaranteed drop. For each variant, the chance increases from 0 to as high as 50. So the higher the tier you are, the more likely you'll get the variants to drop.
And that's for the emblems, though, right?
Yeah.
The emblem.
We're just talking about the...
Oh, okay.
The Nightfall
We'll have to
card.
investigate a little bit more.
Yeah.
I haven't tinkered with this enough to know
default
for sure.
Drop, so you could then. That seems weird that would be.
But we also didn't score more than the 60K. Like we were getting our butts.
We capped the scoring. I don't know what he's talking about. It said no more points. That's what I saw on my screen.
Yeah, Joe is expressing this week, Joe on the Dirt Fam team, how the normal Nightfall, this system is kind of taking the normal Nightfall away for him a little bit, I guess, because of kind of what you guys are talking about a little bit.
Yeah, there's not as much. It's just not as fun. It's not not quite as much fun. My feedback is just initially, I think it needs more, but I'm going to play it more in place. Try to play some of the the variation and the prestige and all that stuff, and see how the whole system kind of plays out.
I guess he went on to mention that if this was their intention, it seems like a system in place for the hardcore score chaser, the hardcore player, PvEer that wants to. Now, then the feedback from them that I got all week as I was watching the content go out on it is that if it's going to be that sort of hardcore score chasing kind of thing, there needs to be some base things in place. Like, well, one of the main feedback elements was that a couple of the strikes have the infinite forest in them, and your spawning is RNG based there, so that immediately impacts the highest score that you can get depending on how lucky you are there. And then the fact that there's not really any leaderboards other than them mentioning it in the TWAB or something, so no immediate gratification for the work that you put in other than just your personal challenge. So
yeah, one thing that kind of stunk, like, so the strike is tree of infinite possibilities or what have you, and so you're going through the
forest, right?
You're going through they're going through the infinite forest, and there's those long hallways that you got to run through. Well, the way the scoring works now, it constantly is dropping. It never stops dropping. It's not like it starts dropping at a certain point. Like every second as time goes on, you constantly lose score. So there's these just too much. Yeah, it's the same problem with that entire DLC is there's too much environment filler in the Infinite Forest and not enough interaction, like engagement. There's not enough lanes where you get pushed into enemies. Like the level design it's not what we typically expect from the caliber that we see from Bungie. And so you spend too much time in zones where you can't get more points. It's kind of annoying. Of course, everybody's on an even playing field with that, but it just doesn't work as well.
One thing I wanted to ask, you guys ran it. I told you guys before we started recording, I ran the Nightfall the wrong week. I hadn't ran one in forever, and I ran it last week and didn't wait for the update. But all the footage I saw this week that I watched, there's no from what I noticed, there's no like constant feed of your score.
No,
Is
there
that
is.
right?
No,
There
is.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, I
It's
just
in the
missed
lower
it.
right-hand corner, I
Okay,
think.
I thought that was strange. I just missed it then. I'm glad.
Constant feed of it lowering.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the lower right-hand corner. You've got a little ticker as well as a clock.
Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense then. I was hoping that I just missed it.
So next up in the TWAB, they talk about a bug that is currently in the raid. You've probably experienced it before if you raid, but they finally got to the bottom of what it is. It's an issue that happens when the team wipes and certain people don't spawn back in. So they had raid test lead John. I hope I don't butcher this. Guisnier.
That works.
This is a hard
Got
name.
it.
Got it. Nailed it. To talk about what they're doing. Basically what's happening is when players don't respawn, it's due to a memory issue due to the size and complexity of the activity. And they said it's going to require a code fix. It happens when a fire team splits up across large distances while others remain back and swap out their gear. And it's becoming more frequent because recently they updated loot tables, so people are getting more loot and sticking back to swap it out. Makes sense. So the meantime, they're saying, look, until we can fix this, just try to stick together as a team, and I guess close proximity of not splitting up across huge areas while they're working on that. So update there. That's good to know. There's a lot of people who thought, that the fact that it had to do with gear was false, but apparently that is somewhat part of it. It's just don't be too far apart.
Stay together.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Or when you do switch your gear back, and then maybe you'll spawn in.
That's what I've heard you can do to help fix that. Next up in Destiny player support, they identify some known issues of 1.1.3. Mercury Heroic Adventures currently don't have modifiers for some players, so working on that. The destination emblem statistics. The EDZ destination emblem only displays 38 of the 41 total ghost scannables currently. And the ghost scannables found statistics don't update until you return to orbit or until you unequip and re-equip the emblem. Finally, on Prestige Challenge card score multipliers, the multipliers do not update properly when players are selecting Singe modifiers. You can work around the issue by toggling the power handicap up and down, and I think that'll refresh it. So, some things that are good to know there. Movie of the week. As always, some cool stuff to check out there. Chris Norton playing The Farm. There's a piano
that's
cover.
awesome. Yeah, that's
Really
one of my
good.
favorite tracks
Yeah.
of Destiny 2 for sure.
Gotta check that out. They promise 1.1.4 will be deployed before the end of the month, and they'll talk more about it soon. DMG will be writing the TWAB next week while Cosmo is doing jury duty.
Random.
Great to
Right.
know.
Civic duty.
Next up, we can talk about our update, the one about Nightfall Strike scoring, 1.1.3. So as we talked about before, you have scoring in the normal and prestige Nightfall. You get score from enemy kills and orb generation. You get your highest set score on your Nightfall's emblem. You can get that after you beat the Nightfall, I believe. You get, I don't know if it's a guaranteed drop, but I think we all got one when we finished it earlier. Scores above a target value will enable the Nightfall aura and a fire team Vanguard token bonus. And then they talk about prestige. They talk about Nightfall challenge cards that allows you to select modifiers that affect your score multipliers and gameplay. So you can select elemental modifiers. You can use a power handicap that lowers your power level but raises the score multiplier.
This is what we were talking about earlier. You guys aren't certain you got after your run, right?
Say it again?
We were talking about the challenge cards. We were
Yeah.
talking about it earlier. You guys aren't certain you got this to drop on your...
No, I
your
didn't
playthrough?
get one.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea what it would be, to be honest.
And then for Extinguish, it's always on when you use a challenge card. If you wipe in a respawning restricted area, you get returned to orbit.
Yeah. See, I thought that
1.
was like something you toggled on and off, but it comes with it.
If you're using
right?
the challenge card, I think
Yep.
that's part of the deal.
Nice. I like that.
Yep. Next up, emblem variants. We've got the Crucible emblems. Victorious Veteran tracks your lifetime Crucible kills and how many of each class you defeated. It's got 6 variants, class specific, and then there's 3 of those, and then 3 that are unlocked after defeating 1,000 of each of the class in PvP. And you can also purchase that after opening 10 faction packages from Shaxx. I'm gonna check this out. It's kind of cool. You also
I forgot to. I have it on PC, but I forgot to go pick it up on console.
Yeah.
The KDA.
There's also Lost Sector emblems have been changed into destination emblems. So those track how many lost sectors you found, region chests open, and ghost scans discovered.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives you something to do if you're into the patrol, if you're a pro patroller like Ignite.
You guys have these set in your Postmaster when you logged in?
No, I
Should
think
be.
because I think I already have some.
Okay. Yeah, I had all the originals, and then like I guess I don't know if they're. I had 5. These 5 sitting in there, I guess.
Really?
The new.
They weren't in my Postmaster. Maybe I need to go
stats
check
on
my collection though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do that.
They're there. There's also 4 variants of each in addition to the default emblem. You can get those from chests in the destination. You can also purchase the destination emblems from the vendors on each planet after you open 10 faction packages. And then finally, Nightfall emblems. You got one for each individual strike, and they each have 3 variants as well. So there's like a ton of emblems.
There's a ton.
I mean, that's got to be like 50 emblems right there. Seems like.
Yeah. Did you guys? I forgot to tag this in the notes. I forget even if it was a tweet or what was the. Everybody noticed that their Crucible emblem was like evenly divvied out between the classes that they had killed.
Yeah, I think they said they had to start with a certain number.
Way. And then I thought it was just kind of funny because one, it does kind of stink because you kind of want to know what you've done up to this point. But then like the last part of it, and sorry, I did not link it, but it said like, and then we just gave the rest to the Warlocks.
Yeah.
And
it started as a certain number and they didn't divide evenly or something. So you started out with killing 1 extra Warlock.
Yeah. It was just funny.
You bastards.
From here on out, it will tally who all you kill.
Yeah. I'm pulling up the tweet. I think that was Cosmo.
Yeah, I think so too.
Talking about it. I'll find it. But, here it is. We were not previously tracking Guardians defeated by class. We didn't want there to be a difference between your total and the breakdown by class. So we gave you a starting point evenly distributed among the 3 classes. The remainder went to Warlocks.
It just seems so weird, like how they couldn't get that total for us. Because it does, I mean, I get that they weren't tracking it on the back end, and they were our total kills. It just kind of stinks. I mean, I guess it's basically, I don't know if it would have been better. That probably would have ruffled some feathers, but just to give us 0 and let us start now.
Yeah, that might have been an issue to do that. Though.
Yeah.
So it takes your actual score of defeated opponents and just evenly divided it, so everybody's kind of starting from square one there. Yeah,
giving everybody 0 kills definitely would have brought some feedback.
All right, now with auras, the raid emblem Glory to the Emperor tracks total Leviathan clears on prestige difficulty and unlocks the orange prestige raid aura if you've completed a prestige difficulty rate activity in the past 14 days. So it's not by reset. And then the Trials emblem you are worthy works the same way. Tracks the number of flawless tickets, unlocks the blue Trials aura if you've gone flawless in the last 14 days. And then Nightfall emblems give you the aura if your high score is higher than the global target, which I think this week it was 60k for that bonus. Then there's some general stuff. We've got opt-in text chat for PC and social and public areas. Fire team members appear on destination map. That's a big one.
Yeah, they forgot that one, actually. I think they like had to add it to the notes. I saw them tweet that out. Somebody called them out on it.
Yep, they made
forgot it just in the notes. I mean,
change to Armor Masterworks. The damage reduction has been increased from 3 to 5% per armor piece.
Very cool.
And then some other various stuff. A whole bunch of different little things. Go check them out if you really want to know. So I don't have to read all these to you. And then that's the news this week. There was a pretty cool little podcast that is worth checking it out. You listen to this. Tell us about it.
Yeah. Good old Jason Schreier, however you want to say it, Mr. Destiny coverage leaks, however you want to call the dude. Yep. Him and Kirk Hamilton have a podcast they call Kotaku Split Screen, which I've listened to several times before. But of course, this episode was called The Secret Hunters of Destiny. And basically, they went through, it's almost like they're doing it kind of in a narrative, like storytelling aspect. And it's really kind of neat. They go through basically from the beginning of Destiny 1 to present, and talk about secret quests, secret things that Bungie put in the game as DLC came out, and how it kind of just fueled the community, and just all these subreddits were started, depending on if we're talking about a 5th or 6th chest in the Vault of Glass, to Lost to Light daily for the heroic daily for the Black Spindle, to what was the fusion? What was the heavy fusion? There wasn't a fusion.
Oh, Sleeper Simulant.
Yeah, Sleeper Simulant to Outbreak Prime, and they kind of go through that. It's very nostalgic if you've been a Destiny player for a long time, because they throw little sound bites in there and little snippets of audio from the actual game and the soundtrack, and then they do interview some community members. A lot of the interviews are interviews they had done in the past, where they talked to, say, Dado about Outbreak Prime, or one of them that's really intriguing is they and sorry I'm forgetting his name right now, but they interviewed a Guardian who spent hours and hours and hours basically figuring out ways to glitch out of the playable area for the Vault of Glass. He even figured out a way to get to the Vault of Glass from Patrol all the way to Atheon's room. And I mean, we're talking hours and hours and hours of what he described as running into nothingness, dying, trying to figure out where he had to go to get there. And the whole point he was doing this, well, one, just for the challenge, but ultimately looking for that secret chest that everybody thought existed. And it's just it's fascinating. And it really made me realize, as much feedback as we've been providing and all this stuff, like I said, basically, one of my core things this whole time has been that we need systems in the game, loot. We need things to grind. We need systems that make us want to grind. And I've mentioned these quests and stuff, and so is the community, but I never really, I knew they were substantial, but as far as like longevity and replayability of the game, they just don't seem to be, the core thing they need to focus on right now. But they really are pretty substantial, what they actually do to the community, and the intrigue, and it just drives the community to look for these things that Bungie hides in the game, and it really it kind of made me realize how big of a role those those secret quests and those layered quests and challenging quests that they don't really explain to you, the role they played in Destiny 1. They were a pretty big deal.
Yeah, they were, and that was something that when Destiny 2 released and I realized that stuff wasn't there, that I was really disappointed not to see.
I remember you talking about it.
Chris Barrett has promised on Twitter that
yes,
we're going to see that stuff return, so we've got something to look forward to there,
Mm-hmm.
We got, we got something a little kind of small like that with the Segura Ghost Shell.
Yeah.
Not quite on the level of what we've seen in the past, but just stuff that is surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're almost like Easter eggs, or that those mysteries and stuff did play such a big role in Destiny 1.
Yeah,
at least for the players that took advantage of it,
Yeah, I think it made me realize, listening to this and just hearing it all again and revisiting it myself, it made me realize that I think these did have, at least it made me realize that they had more to do with like the magic and the secret sauce that Destiny 1 had,
Yeah.
These are pretty magical things.
I have a lot of memories of doing those for the first time and then getting a lot of friends through them as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And helping them get it and experiencing their joy in completing the thing, whatever it was.
The screens and the Outbreak Prime. Oh man.
Oh, I mean, I remember being up at like 4 a.m. when the sleeper simulant thing went down and going through the steps and trying to crack that in the middle of the night.
I couldn't even do it. I had to give my login to this is before somebody else did some of the mission for me, because I was out of town that weekend, and had them do it. So yeah.
This is like it's I don't know, they talk about on the podcast too how it's how you would go to the subreddit, Destiny the Game subreddit, every day just to see if somebody found something new, and I did that every single day, and it seemed like more often than not there was something new or something, even if they hadn't found anything, there was more speculation, and it does. You guys definitely give it a listen, because it kind of brings back old memories, some nostalgia, and it makes you realize how important these things were to the game, for sure.
I'm going to be honest, I remember seeing the tweet about it, but I kind of just kept scrolling because it said the Secret Hunters of Destiny. And I probably would have clicked it if it said Secret Warlocks.
That's funny. Yep.
That's funny. You should have called it like the Secret...
Guardians?
The Secret Explorers of Destiny or something. Trailblazers or... I don't know, Pathfinders. Something. But go check it out. It's Kotaku Split Screen. They're on iTunes. I think they've also got like a YouTube version of it you can watch as well.
Good stuff.
Cool little show. Well, Hiddnen, let me ask you, man, how was your reset?
Well, you were with me earlier today.
Short.
As we both kind of discovered that I'm not going to name dates, but it's been a while since I've played Destiny, and so yeah, we did a Nightfall, and I got a bunch of loot, and I have no idea what I got, but we completed it.
It did drop a ton of stuff.
It did.
Man, you get so many different things now.
Yes.
Not only from the strike, but then you get to go to Zavala, and it gives you some decent stuff, at least some powerful stuff. We were talking about that. That would be really nice if you got a masterwork drop from Zavala.
Yes, it would. Yes,
it would make a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. I think you should get a guaranteed armor and weapon masterwork when you complete the Nightfall. The Nightfall, when you complete the Nightfall.
Maybe for the Prestige.
Yeah, I agree. Prestige is fine. Yeah.
But yeah, so the new Nightfall, we played it. We talked a little bit about that, and kind of a mixed bag. I'd like to see it develop some more. How do you think it played, Bobby, besides that?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good to where, outside of the dull moments, to where we were literally just running and not getting
where
any
you couldn't
scores.
launch your Sparrow off a ramp.
We're not going to talk about that. There's no video proof of that. I don't know what he's talking of.
Don't know.
I did not wreck and die multiple times with my sparrow. Nope.
It's not a jumping puzzle. And yeah, do you think some of the secret magic to the new Nightfall scoring and stuff is that the loot, since there isn't like a score high score list, is it that it's emblems? Like we talked about last week, I think that like the emblems that they're adding are very cool. The variants are cool. I mean, it's really neat depth for emblems, but it would be neater if there was already other things in the game as far as rewards for completing such a thing or getting a high score, if you will. You think that's part of it, or do you guys just think the experience altogether is it just still a little bit lackluster?
I don't know. I think I need to play it some more.
Yeah.
Do some more. Report next week.
Yeah,
I'm
I can't
up to date enough to.
I can't give you a total call on that.
Well,
yet,
those score chasers, they're gonna have fun with it regardless. I mean, the legit score chasing and not farming or cheesing anything. That definitely adds a layer to it. So. Well,
and I don't know how you can cheese it just the way it is because, like I said, you're constantly losing scores. So anything that's going to be a cheese is just an actual strategy.
Right, right. I made the comment too to where when we were in the middle section to where we couldn't just skip all the enemies to just open the doors because we had to kill them for the points because it was a constant drop in points.
Yeah, you needed the points. You need the points.
Yeah. So nobody's running through the infinite forest at this point.
Yeah, that's it. Infinite forest.
Exploring.
Yeah.
Right. What did you get into this week, Arrow?
I actually did not. Let me tell you my Destiny gameplay this week. I logged in, went to the tower, saw what Hawthorne had for me, did some inventory management, and kind of checked out, I think, my gear sets that I've been working on, and then I logged off. That was it. Like I said, I should have saved my Nightfall run for this week. I did fit in, I didn't play a ton of video games, but I fit in a few rounds of Fortnite. I have figured out, I mentioned last week, I've been bitten by the bug of Fortnite, I think officially now, but I'm going to be probably playing it alongside my Destiny play. But I realized...
They got a special gun for you this week.
Oh, man. I couldn't remember if we knew about it last week. Yes. Basically, NLB, my favorite gun, probably in any video game ever, I've decided, is now in Fortnite. So, yeah, a couple Dirt fam, you and Yapel tweeted at me and said, they said NLB's in Fortnite now. I'm like, no way.
I'll tell you though,
shot, no scope hunting rifle.
It's even harder than No Land Beyond to use for sure.
Yeah, well, there's bullet time in that game, bullet trail, and it's like
you have to compensate,
and I have no scope,
and you have no scope. So your third
I have
person,
accepted the challenge.
Third person ADS is difficult,
and I come from third person SOCOM-esque style of games, Gears of War. So I'm up for the challenge. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to figuring it out. But I've already gotten it a couple times, and I've already figured out that I'm gonna have to figure it out because it's definitely challenging. And I don't know. I'm feeling Fortnite. I'm late to the party. I played it a few times here and there. Had it installed a time or two. Played it at the Dirt Fan meetup. But I'm definitely fully feeling it now. And it's like I mentioned last week. It works well for my gameplay time right now of randomness times that I can get on. You can get a couple quick games in pretty quick, and I mean, I'm all the way to the point now where I'm looking up. I'm such a noob. It feels so weird to be a noob because we've just been playing Destiny for so long. I'm like looking up top 50 tips for new Fortnite players, and it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like you need to. Don't turn around and try to shoot somebody that shoots at you. Just immediately build.
Start building
right away.
Right.
Just go watch Lupo, and you have to jump, and you have to switch weapons constantly.
Exactly. I already increased my sensitivity so I can jump. You have to be at least 7 or 8 sensitivity to be able to jump, look behind you, check your 6, and then without like slowing your character model down. I've figured out. I didn't even think about this, but like your You're supposed to not have to have the guessing game of where your weapons are at in your inventory. You take the time when you have a moment to swap your inventory the same way every game. I have mapped my key binding on my PS4 because you can't do it inside of Fortnite to be bumper jumper. So yeah, I'm all in. So it's gonna be some Destiny reset stuff and some Fortniteage for a little while, I think now.
So there's this other game that also has a sniper that's very similar to your bolt action, but it does have a scope. You should check it out sometime. It's called Sea of Thieves.
Oh, okay. Sea of Thieves. I've watched some stuff on that game. I don't fully understand it yet, but I saw Goth like emptying his ship with a bucket and water because he went ashore.
Gotta get that pail out.
Yeah, that's funny. I see people spending a lot of time on ships. I don't fully understand the game just because I haven't watched it yet, but obviously there's a draw. I've seen it in the feed quite a bit. But anyways, sorry, went on a major Fortnite tangent there. But
right.
Cyborg, dude, you playing anything else still? What about that Switch? Still playing Switch?
Nothing new on the Switch. I haven't been playing that a lot lately this week because I've been playing some Civilization 6.
Oh, that's right. Wow. Yeah,
that I got from the Humble monthly bundle, which is a pretty good deal. You get some pretty decent games for like $10-$12 a month. And so I've been playing that a little bit. It's got some really great improvements on Civ 5. Like, I don't know, you got to be into these kind of games to know what I'm talking about, but diplomacy is like far improved on any other Civ game. It's got like, it made some great changes to the religion and culture aspects of it. Building, like improving your settlements and stuff is way different. There's a lot of really big changes that change how you would normally play the game, but it makes it more interesting and it makes your choices matter more. Like my go-to strategy in Civilization games is pretty much always the same. Like focus heavily on infrastructure and production facilities and colonize like as much as you possibly can. So by mid to late game, you've got a ton of bases that can output an enormous army. So you go from like economic powerhouse to just literally conquer the world because you can just pump out, battle units like at an insane rate and no other Civ can keep up. It's a little more difficult to play that way now. You have to make there's so many other choices to make, and some of them you have to make to focus in different directions depending on, what the scenario is, but you can't just steamroll as easily now. So it's interesting. I'm on my first playthrough playing as Rome, and addictive.
That's cool. Yeah.
it's the one more turn addiction.
Yeah.
Like, one more turn. 4 hours later.
Yep.
Did you ever play They Are Billions?
No.
Zombie Arc.
Yeah.
I saw that one.
It's fun. It's pretty much like Age of Empires with random zombie attacks.
Yeah.
And it's all like steampunk. It's really fun. I really enjoy it.
I need to check that out.
I've played Civ games some, and I definitely see the appeal, and if I spent more time with them, I definitely would enjoy them. But I always was drawn to, like, I played Age of Empires like crazy, like the real time, move your, not turn based. But I definitely can still get down on turn based. But I love the real time, like Age of Empires, just moving your little units all over, putting them in a formation. Which is basically the same thing in Civ. It's more of like a board game style turn based, right?
Yeah. Pretty much.
Very cool.
Yeah. So besides that, that's mainly what's been on my plate this week. A little bit of Destiny, a little bit of Civ. I might have played like 1 hour of Stardew Valley one day, but I'm almost to year 3.
Oh wow!
Stardew Valley, and I'm in like the end of winter year 2, so I'm getting ready to get judged by Grandpa. if you don't know what that means. But
No, I need to break that back out. I played
at
it
the end of year
forever
2,
ago.
your dead grandpa gives you a report card basically on everything you've done. And he has like a shrine in it, and you're trying to light up 4 candles. And so different things that you've achieved in the game will light up a candle based on your total score. And if you get all 4 candles, you get this cool statue that gives you iridium ore, which is the hardest thing that you can get grinding wise, but it's what you want a lot of in the end game. And so it drops a random amount from 3 to 8 ore a day. So I'm trying to get that for sure.
They just made an announcement today too that the people that did Stardew, they're doing a new game.
The publisher, not the developer, but Chucklefish. What was it? What was the name of the game? We're talking about.
It's a magic school or something. Earlier. I don't remember.
Spellbound. Yes, it's a similar game in the genre and style of Stardew and Harvest Moon, but it's set in a magic school, kind of like Hogwarts. Looks pretty cool. I'm interested, but it's got development time, a couple years left, so we gotta wait for that one.
So alpha next week.
Right. When do we get to play that?
That's the new. I think that's the new model. Is how soon can we get some kind of alpha out, and then let's just have it in play for a year or two, and then we'll finally release.
Or never release.
Yeah, that's true too.
I'm kind of tired of games not ever releasing. Like, seriously. What else you been playing this weekend?
Speak of the devil with alphas and betas. Sea of Thieves had another stress test this weekend, so I dumped some time into that. Having a blast playing it. March 20th. Can't wait for that release date. It's got the grind. And
what platform is that game on?
It's actually multi to where Xbox and PC. It's cross-platform, so you'll be able to play on whichever. And I've had pirate ships to where we're on. You'll have both people, so it's really fun.
So is the stress test and stuff, the beta and all that, has it been on both PC and Xbox? Or
yep, both. Gotcha. To where you can literally, like, I've had viewers to where, or just other people, come in and say, "Hey, this looks really fun," and you can literally get on your PC, grab the Xbox Insider through the Microsoft Store, and then the game's available for the stress test. Otherwise, you had to already have it pre-ordered when they did a closed beta. But they are going to have they haven't said official dates yet, but there is a open beta before the release date. So that might be this weekend or next weekend, I guess. But it launches the 20th. Cool.
Yeah, that's going to be a big launch. I know a lot of people that are interested in playing or have been playing that game.
Based on all the stress tests too, I really think that it's going to be knock on wood, a smooth launch for it too, because they've definitely put in the hours.
Yeah, they've done a lot of beta testing, that's for sure. And everybody describes it as Destiny Pirates.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like a mix between it's Destiny Pirates but with Fortnite graphics and then amazing looking oceans.
Sounds cool. I need to try it out. I just, it doesn't seem like a game I would play, but I've said that about other stuff. So,
yep,
we'll see. We'll see. Well, next week we've got Iron Banner to look forward to, boys. Maybe we can get together and play some Iron Banner, some Clash. Now we've got a Derp Fam discourse. Got an email from Chuck Likes Pizza, my boy. Titled "SpeakPipe is dumb," so he writes.
That's what we were talking about.
I tried to send a SpeakPipe, but the app isn't supported in the latest version of iOS, so I'm going to make you read instead.
I feel like they just
sounds like he needs Android.
Really need to update.
Their app behind.
Yeah. So he says, in your most recent episode, you guys were discussing Rumble, and you mentioned in the upcoming Go Fast update. That got me thinking about another favorite FPS of mine in Halo. My question is the following. Who would win in a 4v4 Guardians versus Spartans game of Clash/Slayer? 4 top-tier Destiny players versus 4 top-tier Halo players. It would have to be on a Halo map, as Spartans would be at a disadvantage in terms of movement options on a Destiny map. TTK would be balanced. Top-tier Destiny PvP weapons versus Halo weapons. Remember, Halo weapons don't suffer from bloom or damage fall off. They're crispy and reliable. Now, in terms of movement, Destiny is greater than Halo. Grenades, Halo is better than Destiny. Weapons, Halo is better than Destiny. I guess the X factor would be super usage for Guardians, but Spartans would have invisibility and overshields at their disposal. Personally, I'm thinking Spartans would win versus D2 Guardians, but I have a feeling like D1 Guardians would have the edge otherwise. Just a hypothetical scenario that I found thought-provoking in terms of sandbox balancing and nostalgia. Keep up the good work, fellas. Thanks for all you do for our community. Chuck likes pizza, Dirt Black / Forever Sancho.
I was in complete agreement with him, but then I realized we've got to take in consideration one huge factor.
What's that?
The team shot. Sorry. I'm just kidding.
I thought you were going to say all the top tier Destiny players were playing Fortnite now.
Oh,
burn.
Yeah. No, I had a little bit of a little funny, but yeah, that was a burn. Burn.
They'll come back once private matches are back.
Yeah, they will. They'll be back. Get those sandbox changes. No, this is a fun question though. I played a bit of Halo in my day. I never Destiny level Halo player, but I did enjoy it. It is interesting to take into consideration the no bloom and the you think then the supers and abilities would outplay the Spartans, but like you mentioned, it's well, they've got overshields or they've got shields that you'll have to take down, and it would be very interesting to see if however this would be possible in what video game world to see 4 Spartans take on 4 Guardians.
Who do you think are going to win?
I'm going to go with... Ooh, this is tough. I want to say Spartans, but I love Destiny so much. I'm probably going to say Spartans. I feel like they're just... with the mechanics that he mentioned and the fact that they're just Spartans, I feel like that win, man.
What do you
the
think,
supers aren't going to save us. Supers aren't. I just feel like they're not going to save us. We don't get it often enough. He said specifically Destiny 2. Give us Destiny 1 super occurrence.
Yeah.
And Guardians.
Mayhem.
There you go.
I don't know. I mean, if they're all warlocks, maybe.
Just all Stormcallers.
I think all Striker Titans.
Yep. No, I'm just thinking Stormcallers, and then you've got your health little puddles, and maybe.
I don't know, man. Can you imagine? They'd play all the different game modes, then throw some... Guardians would be absolutely destroyed. You throw them in SWAT.
I'm gonna say Spartans. I'm gonna tell you why. Because Energy Sword.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
All the things.
That's the one thing.
Yeah.
That throws
made
us
me thinking
all
of,
out of whack.
Now, will a fusion one-shot a Spartan? That changes the game a little bit.
Probably, yeah.
You got to take down the shield.
All the power weapons assume they function the same way.
Yeah.
This is a fun question.
Well, we'd love to hear what you think about this challenging question. And
depends on which Halo too. Is it Halo 2, Halo 3?
I guess Halo 5.
Yeah.
Is what we got to consider. I don't even know. Do they still have energy swords in Halo 5?
I hadn't played Halo PvP since
I need to play it.
3, I think.
I would say if no energy sword, then I'd give it to Destiny 1 Guardians.
Yeah.
But hey, that might all change after the Go Fast update. Let's see.
Revisit the question.
All right, but thanks for the question, Chuck. If you're listening, let us know who you think would win and why. Send us an email, destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com or a speakpipe, speakpipe.com/destinyreset. Let us know what you think, or if you've got a question or a shout-out or anything, this is the time to do it for Dirt Fam Discourse. Send it out. We'll put you on the show.
Definitely.
Now it's time for patron shout-outs.
Yes.
Anybody new this week?
Man, we've been on a roll. We've only had like 1 or 2 episodes where we didn't have any shout outs. We do not have any this week, but we do have several pending. Guys, check your Patreon messages.
Yes.
You've supported us, and we like to be certain of that gamer tag before we give you your shout out. So check your messages. You probably have a message waiting.
Check your emails too, because that's like, I know back when you first started it, I was the same thing because I didn't check my message because I didn't have messages relayed, but then I had it in my email.
Gotcha. That's
So if
good
you don't know
feedback.
what a patron is, go to patreon.com/Destiny Reset. That's where you can help support the production budget of this show for as little as $1 a month. You can support us. We're thankful for all of our patrons. We appreciate your support. If you become a patron, you get a few things. You get a shout out on the podcast. You get your gamer tag posted on our website in perpetuity. And you also get an invite to our Discord channel just for Dirt Fan patrons, where you can hassle us with whatever crazy pineapple related questions or whatever you come up with. Or you can give us feedback on the show and offer improvements or suggestions or whatever you want to talk about. We're there. So, yeah, come check it out. Patreon.com/Destiny Reset. Or if you just want to drop a one-time tip or something like that, you can do that at our PayPal. We've got a link to that on our website.
Very nice.
All right, boys. Hiddnen, thanks for joining us.
Thanks
Yeah,
for
dude,
having
thanks.
me, guys.
It's fun to
about
finally
time.
have you on the show.
Yes. Sorry it took so long, buddy.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Very much do. Tell people where they can find you.
Literally Hiddnen anywhere. HIDDNEN. Twitter, Discord. Well, I guess not Discord because I don't have a partner channel. But I'm twitch.tv/Hiddnen or even mixer.com/Hiddnen now because I'm testing waters on both. But yeah, anywhere you search, I'll be there.
Awesome, man. What about you, AER0KNIGHT?
You can find me on Twitter at the AER0KNIGHT, and on YouTube and Twitch, it's AER0KNIGHT. What about you, man?
Perfect. At CyborgSasquatch on Twitch and Twitter. Finally, you can find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter and on the World Wide Web, www.destinyresetpodcast.com. That's your source for all things DRP, including links to subscribe to us on your podcast app of choice. Links to pretty much anything we've talked about. Be sure to join our Discord if you're looking for Guardians to chat with about Destiny and gamings or people to play with. That's discord.gg/Destiny Reset.
Yes, and no new iTunes reviews this week, but we like to take this time to thank you all for the 152 that we have already.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
So kind of you. If you're listening on iTunes, please go leave us a review. It's really easy, and it helps us get seen by more people looking for Destiny podcasts. They're out there, believe it or not. You were at one time. All right, boys. Great time. Thanks for hanging out.
Good times. Thanks again, Hiddnen.
My pleasure.
All right, guys. Until next week, have fun playing Destiny 2, and take care, Guardians.